Hello and welcome to The Mysterious Thief Forget-Me-Not. This is a girls' love visual novel with point-and-click elements set in a fictional city in England. Now the shop page said this is mostly linear, not quite sure what that means, but we do have multiple POVs, I think, depending on the chapter. But yeah, let's dive in. Wilkinson Museum of Art and History, May 5th, 12:55 AM. This is TTV News coming at you live for Forget-Me-Not's latest heist. The infamous Phantom Thief's target this time is the Sunrise Glow, one of Europe's largest topases. The museum owner and curator Sir Wilkinson received a calling card from the aforementioned thief just a few days prior. At 1 AM on the 5th, I will shine down upon the Sunrise Glow, is what was written on the card. We'll keep you updated until the time mentioned, sending it back to the studio for now. Okay, had some fans in the background there. As the feed switches back to the main station, I turn off my phone and look down at the ever-growing crowd at the foot of the museum. What a crowd. Those newscasters always do such a good job talking up these heists. Just the way I like it. The walkie at my hip beeps while I'm lost in thought, bringing my attention back to answer the call from the other end. How's everything looking down there? Break has been prepped, the jewel's been double-checked, everything's as smooth as can be, kid. Perfect, good work. This is gonna be great. Don't get too cocky now. No worries, I'm just ready to have some fun. Everyone, listen up. Our conversation is interrupted by the very loud and just as commanding voice of the detective below in the gallery. Speaking of fun, we've only got a few minutes left before that damn thief attempts to steal the jewel. Station yourselves at every possible entrance they could even think of using, and notify me of anything suspicious. Do I make myself clear? Yes, sir. On cue after the detective's little pep talk, the officers spread themselves out around the vicinity, hoping to cover every entrance and exit they can with their numbers. Someone seems motivated tonight. I'm in position. Ready to go when you are, kid. All right, wait for my signal. Got it. I look back out to the crowd, banners, flags and posters in hand, starting to count down to the hour. 10, 9. With a little stretch, I hop on over into position. I guess that's my cue. Let's give these people the show they're looking for. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. In the sudden darkness, the officers stationed inside the exhibit share worried looks and whispers with any neighbors they can see. Everyone stay calm. This is just one of their tricks. Oh dear, now we have sirens in the background. That's not in the game. Let's wait for a moment. Sorry about that. With an annoyed look on their face, the detective pulls out their radio in one hand, while the other pulls out a flashlight to see around them. What's the situation in the breaker room? Sir, the breaker's been tampered with. It doesn't look like we can get it up on our own. There's probably a remote switch connected to it that the thief is using. That damned. I want that breaker up and running immediately. Forget-me-not could be here. Any minute. Right, detective. My apologies for the late start of tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. They're here! Forget-me-not! Letting out their pent-up anticipation, the crowd goes absolutely wild over my entrance. The vigor and enthusiasm of the crowd outside is a stark contrast to the mood of those inside the museum, as the detective and the men surround me. Forget-me-not. We've got you surrounded. Give yourself up. Good evening to you too, Detective O'Malley. So overjoyed by my presence as always, I see. And you're as cocky as ever. Even you must realize that you have nowhere left to run in this situation. My officers have the breaker room secured after your little stunt just now. You won't be able to use your veil of darkness to escape like in the past, thief. Leaning against the display case, I give Detective O'Malley a playful smirk and chuckle. And what's so funny this time? You just seem so sure of yourself, Detective. You won't be able to use your veil of darkness. How long did it take you to come up with that little quip? You hardly have a leg to stand on here, magician wannabe. True, true. But who's to say that darkness is the only way to make an escape? With a little tap on the glass, I turn my attention to my target before me. Isn't that right, sunrise glow? Ah! Quick, cover your eyes. Once the harsh light fades, Detective O'Malley and their men slowly open their eyes. Those that didn't make it in time start rubbing them to subdue the pain. Is everyone all right? I think so. Oh, my eyes. Sir, the jewel. I've taken the sunrise glow, forget-me-not. That damned forget-me-not. Chapter 1. Desiree. Far away from the sounds of sirens and the cheering crowd, I finally make it back to the quiet little attic I call home. Good work tonight. With a satisfied grin, I flop onto my bed, holding the jewel I won above me in the moonlight. Careful you don't smack yourself in the face with that thing, kid. You're saying that as if I'm the one with butterfingers. As if to spite me, the jewel falls out of my hand and hits me in the face, prompting a chuckle out of my partner. Ow. You were saying... Oh, shush. I suppose some introductions are in order. I'm Desiree LeChance, whom you've known as the fantastic phantom thief Forget-me-not up to this point. I've been doing these heists of mine for over 3 years, wowing the crowds and running circles around the cops who chase after me. 3 years with that much, like, publicity, I guess? Respectable. Could we maybe not do a light show next time? I thought I was gonna go blind earlier. That's why I said not to look at the jewel, you dumb. The snarky man before me is Sung-won Kim, though he goes by his thief name Crow most of the time. Yep, you heard me right, he's also a thief, just not as eccentric as I am. He focuses on finding and revealing shady secrets about high-ranking officials or businessmen in the area. To me, however, he's my mentor, accomplice, and kinda adoptive uncle. It's a long story, so just take my word for it. Sure, we will. But also that kinda makes sense. Ooh. I was about to say, it makes more sense if you have like a team instead of doing everything alone. on the other hand, if there's 2 thieves, then it's also twice as probable to get caught. But anyways, I have something to tell you. What is that? What is it? Jeez. Well, you've been working so hard as of late, juggling these heists and civilian life and such. So I talked to a friend who owed me a favor to pull some strings. And got these. He reaches into his pants pocket and pulls out a pair of tickets. Handing me one, I can see the Pavlova Ballet Swan Lake written in an ornate cursive font. Wait, aren't these for the ballet on Friday? You got that right. Figured you deserved a break, so how's about it, kid? That's awesome, thanks so much. Anytime. Be sure to let Ramona know you're gonna take Friday night off. Of course. Now off to bed you go. You can send back the jewel on your way to work in the morning. Okay. Good night, Crow. Night, Desiree. Send back the jewel? So we're not keeping it or selling it? The excitement of the heist must have drained all my energy, for as soon as I laid in bed, I instantly fell fast asleep. The next morning comes quickly and begins like any other. After going through my usual routine of making my bed, getting dressed and packing my bag for work, I do a little stretch. Good morning, world. Let's get today started. Okay. Tutorial. Occasionally during the story you'll be able to explore the environment by clicking around. The cursor icon will change when you're hovering over something you can interact with. And if you've seen everything you can for certain clickable areas, then a check mark will appear over the mouse. That's handy. You can also in some places click the left and right side of the screens to either pan the background or move to a new location. Okay, look at the corkboard. Wonder what Andre put on the board today. Today's schedule, grocery shopping on Thursday. Oh, and a note. Please don't enter the attic through the window. You're lucky most of my patrons leave drunk. Sorry, Andre. Okay, so that's done. Check the closet. The only place I could hide my outfit. I wanted it to be flashy, so I customized it myself with the fabric flowers. And some really devoted fans have tried making replicas of it, so I can take it with me when I'm doing laundry, no problem. Though I'm not sure how to feel about that, if I'm being honest. In the midst of my before-work prep, I shift my gaze to the writing desk next to my bedside, realizing I'd forgotten something. Picking up the photo that's sitting on it, I stare at it solemnly and whisper to myself. Hey Mama, hey Papa, I'm heading to work now. Don't worry, I won't overdo it this time. I hope you two are doing alright. I miss you. Gently putting the photo back in its place and giving it a little pat, I focus on getting ready for work once more. No. Not bad. Just double checking. Yep, bad made. I hate leaving my bed a mess after I wake up. It's just instinct at this point. If only I could wrestle Crow into following my habits every now and again. Well, that's none of your business, really. Oh, cactus. That's Charles Potley, our cactus. We call him Charlie for short. Crow originally didn't want any plants up here in the attic, as he was worried about bugs and such. But I turned him around after showing him how cute Charlie was. Though I did have to ban him from naming him after he first tried to name it Pestilence. Whatever. Okay. Well, this being an attic, for being an attic, it looks really good actually. But this is not the window we came in through, right? No, there must be another one here. TV. Crow's still asleep, so I can't turn on the TV to check the news just yet. Though right now they're probably just talking about the weather report for the week. I can wait until I'm at work to tune in. Okay, Crow. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna even attempt to wake him up. The last time I tried to wake him up before noon, he gave me an hour-long lecture about it. That's an hour he could have spent sleeping, so... At this point, I've just accepted that he's fused to his bed until the afternoon. I mean, to be fair, if he was working at night... Sack of foxes. Even though we live up here, this is still an attic. We try to leave as much room for any boxes and such for the bar as we can if there's no space in the storage room, and to even help organize it. Although Andre is really good at organizing things, so there aren't many boxes left over to begin with. Okay. It's not... Okay, so for Crow we don't get a check mark. That's interesting. Not gonna do it. Oh no, okay. It was tempting as I see. Okay, so we looked at everything, so let's go downstairs. I think I'm good to head down now. Wonder if Andre's done prepping for the day. After going downstairs, I'm greeted with the sight of the empty bar, tables, glasses and the like cleaned to prepare for the day's patrons. The owner and bartender waves at me from behind the counter, setting down a glass he was wiping.
Good morning, Desiree.
Morning, Andre. This is Andre Daniels, the owner of the bar and restaurant we live on top of, the Gallant Rogue. He and Crow have known each other for years, and even before I joined the team, Crow was lodging in his attic, so he's used to this. Handy.
Let me know when you want something to eat before you head out, alright?
Will do. Okay, for a moment I thought we were working here, but I guess not. But now we can look at the news. I look up at the TV on the wall where they're talking about the local traffic. Movement in the lower stretches of the city has slowed due to a light altercation, but should clear within the next hour. I usually talk about my latest heist later in the morning. Probably so all the people who came out to watch can get enough sleep in. Sure. The bar wall. Looming before me is the impressive collection of alcohol Andre keeps in the bar. That is pretty impressive. Wines, vodkas, brandies. If he doesn't have it on the wall, he'll try to get his hands on it for the sake of it. And yet Crow won't let me have even a single sip of anything alcoholic. It's not fair. How am I supposed to know if I like it if he won't even let me try it? I'm 24 for God's sake. I can handle even a little bit. But it is a bad habit and not good for your health in any way, so yeah. Andre?
Ready for some breakfast, kiddo?
You bet.
What would you like me to make?
Oh, so is this the kind of not quite linear choice we can make? Pancakes, waffles, French toast. Sounds like all of that sounds great, but I really like pancakes, so yeah. Pancakes, please.
Sure thing. Tea as usual, I assume?
Of course. Ain is fine.
I'll be right back then.
Andre grabs an apron and tightens it around his waist with a confident look as he walks into the kitchen behind him. Meanwhile, I stare at the TV hanging from the ceiling nearby as I seat myself on one of the stools by the counter. Twin Bells can expect about 5 millimeters of rain tomorrow night, but it'll quickly clear in the early morning as folks start their day. Rainy days always make heists hard to plan for. Especially with how often our friendly detective chases me onto the rooftops. As the weather report wraps up, I can smell the wonderful aroma of my breakfast wafting from the kitchen, while Andre carrying it on cue.
Here you go.
Ooh, lovely. Andre sets down a cup of hot tea, a bottle of syrup, and a plate with a tower of 3 golden brown pancakes. The pancakes are complemented by a variety of fruit arranged around the base and a cute little square of butter sitting proudly on top. Thank you, Andre. That looks amazing as always. As I pour a generous helping of syrup on top of my breakfast, Andre gets back to cleaning some of the glasses.
I don't think I've ever met someone with a bigger sweet tooth than you, kid.
I love sweets, sue me. Although I haven't eaten things as sweet as I used to, thanks to your cooking.
Well, someone's gotta be the adult here if Crow won't. What would we do if you suddenly got a bunch of cavities from your self-indulgent eating?
Fair enough. After clearing my plate, I take one last sip of tea, getting up from my seat. Thanks again, Andre.
No problem, Desiree. Good luck at work today.
Thanks, you too. Okay, we can still look around, just wondering about that. Kitchen, the bar entrance, okay. The bar's menu. In the evenings, the Gallant Rogue is the local bar most night owls flock to. But in the day, it's a casual restaurant that serves really good food and drinks at a decent price. Andre really prides himself on making all the food as amazing as possible, within reason of course. Crow and I help him in the kitchen on busier days to make sure he doesn't overwork himself. Crow may not like it, but he's actually a pretty good cook. The meals I've tried have all been great. Though he and Andre have quite different heat tolerances. Interesting. Does he not have any, other employees? This place doesn't look small exactly, so you'd think there's other people working here as well. Also, happy hour from 3 to 10? Wow. The kitchen. Back there is the bar's kitchen. It's pretty spacious, and Andre takes good care of it, so it always looks really clean and neat. Though he's also very territorial about it, even with me and Crow when we help him out. Especially Crow. There's probably a story behind that. Okay, that's fair. Can we talk to him again?
Not headed out yet, kid?
I gave myself some extra time, so I can hang out a bit longer if I want.
Good, good. It's always better to be early than to be right on time.
Must feel nice to have another morning person around, huh?
You have no idea.
Okay. So let's go to the entrance. Wow. Yeah, this is a cozy place. Photos on the wall. Scattered around the walls of the bar are photos of the highlights of Twin Bells. The Twin Bell Towers, the museum, the theatre hall, all the things that bring people to visit this city of ours. There's also various memorabilia related to the famous thief that took the city by storm, the Scarlet Rose. Scarlet Rose was the phantom thief that came years before me and is considered a part of our history now. He was a master of disguise and quite the charmer from what I've heard. He retired before I was born. Andre told me that he named the bar in homage to them, but Crow likes to imagine that the moniker fits him too. Okay. Pool table. The pride and joy of the bar, other than the bar itself, of course. Andre has a special rule where if a customer beats him in a game of 8-ball, they get free drinks for the night. But so far, no one's been able to beat him. Oh. The games have even gotten so popular that people come to the bar at night just to see them. Pool cues. Andre's prized cues.
I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it in English. We call them kö.
He uses them whenever he plays a game with someone in the night. He told me they're hand-me-downs from his dad's side of the family, but he's taken such good care of them, they look brand new. Okay. I guess that's it. And yeah, we'll go off to work. After checking my belongings, I turn around to wave to Andre. Bye Andre, have a good day today.
You too, kid. See you later.
As I step out of the bar, I'm greeted by the sights and sounds of Sidewind Avenue in its morning routine. The shops opening their doors, people commuting to work, and the slow start of what is normally a bustling street. Oh, we can look around again. Kinda nice. A gallant rogue. That's the bar. Isn't it quaint? It's in a pretty decent location that's not too central but also not far from the major points of the city. Also helps that it stands out from all the buildings nearby since they look so similar. I was about to say, that's interesting. Wait. Can I just look at it or go back in? While I'm still here, I check my bag to make sure I have everything I need. Uniform, my lunch and phone. Yep, I've got everything. As much as I'd love to just chat the day away with Andre, I've gotta head to work. Okay. Idle passerby. As I walk by the TV store, I overhear a couple of ladies chatting to each other while watching the news. Did you go to Forget-Me-Not's heist last night? I did. It was fantastic as usual. Hey, who do you think is cooler, Detective Aiden or the Phantom Thief? Oh, that's such a hard question. If I had to choose though, I'd pick Forget-Me-Not. He's so dreamy.
Take that, detective.
Oh, maybe one day they'll get it right. Well, I gotta stay mysterious, right? Okay, we have the south end. Sweeping clerk. As I walk by the local bakery, I'm greeted by a clerk sweeping near the door, waving at me with a big grin on their face.
Good morning, Desiree.
Morning. Getting everything ready for the day?
Yep, we're just about done the early morning prep. Oh, speaking of, boss told me to give you something when you came by. One sec.
They duck into the store for a quick bit before coming back out with a choux pastry. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Boss said you love these things, so he made an extra batch in case you wanted one today.
You can tell him that he can expect me to drop by for that batch after my shift, and that's a promise. With a chuckle, the clerk gives me a nod and then returns to the sweeping they were doing. Okay, very friendly neighborhood. Wait, is it? Okay, the north end and the south end. That way goes off to the south end of Sidewind. If you take about a 15-minute walk, you'll reach the business center of the city. But I don't need to go there. Work is up the north end. Okay, just making sure. This way goes to the north end of the street, and that's where work is. I should get going so that I have more than enough time to prep once I get there. Okay, off we go. After a bit of walking, I make it to the north end of Sidewind Avenue. In that time, the city started to wake up a bit more as people are beginning their regular workdays around me. I'll soon join them as I finally see my destination right in front of me. I see a cat, Marigold. This little cutie is Marigold, the pseudo mascot of the flower shop. Miss Ramona found her hanging out behind the store a while back and has been taking care of her ever since. She named her Marigold because she's the same color as them. Upon seeing me get close to the store, little Marigold struts towards me and lets out a big meow for attention. Good morning to you too, sweetheart. And how are you doing today? I lean down to give my furry friend a gentle scritch behind the ears, to which she practically pushes her head into my hand for. Gosh, you're so cute. I hope you have a good day today. Aww. Ramona's flowers. Greeting me in this part of the street is Ramona's Flowers, the flower shop I work at. Its rustic aesthetic is a favorite sight of many, and it's the main shop a lot of locals go to for the floral and decorating needs. Miss Ramona's shop also offers flower telegrams, so we get a lot of business during Valentine's and other holidays. Okay. We'll go inside in a moment. Back south, okay. No, we just were there, so mailbox. I walk up to the mailbox nearby and, after quickly making sure no one's watching, put on my gloves and drop a bubble mailer inside. Almost forgot to give back my prize from last night. So long, little friend. Thanks for the fun last night. Okay, interesting. So we're really just doing it for the show. I close the lid to the mailbox after confirming the deed and hide my gloves back into my bag along with the rest of my belongings. I always make sure I send it using different mailboxes and to keep my fingerprints off of it. Standard stuff. Even the great detective O'Malley shouldn't be able to find any clues with all this. Okay, different mailboxes, but are they all like close to where you live and work? I mean, I don't know how big the city is. But interesting. Further north, can we? Going further north from here goes right to the heart of the city. As you'd expect, there's a lot of tourist landmarks, such as our noteworthy twin bell towers. It can get pretty crowded in the warmer months when people are vacationing, so us locals hang out there in the off-season instead. Okay. I guess I'll have to go to work now. And here we are. I double-check my belongings just in case before stepping up to the main entrance. Time to head inside. Hope Miss Ramona hasn't been too busy before I got here. I walk into the flower shop and am greeted by the pleasant, subtle smell of the flowers displayed around the store. Subtle? Any flower store I've ever been in is just like in your face, which makes sense. Hyacinths, pansies, roses, tulips, this shop holds as many as it can handle and takes meticulous care of each and every one of them. Also greeting me as I walk in is the owner of this shop and my boss. Good morning, Dee. This is my boss, Miss Ramona Bernardi. She's a close friend of my mom's and a previous client of Crow's. From what I understood, she was having issues with a corrupt landlord in the area that was taking a toll on hers and other shops. So she hired Crow to step in, and now she and the other vendors in this area don't have to worry anymore. He helped me meet her so I could apply to work here. I've been working here for a few years now. Well, don't we have great connections? Morning, Miss Ramona. Hope I didn't keep you waiting. Dee, please, you know you never do. I'm still taking care of things at the front, so take your time getting ready. Sure thing. Display. Sitting elegantly right in the middle of the store is Miss Ramona's flower display. A handsome variety of plant life is arranged in an appealing manner. Miss Ramona loves arranging the store, and especially this part. Part of the reason she opened a flower shop in the first place was because of all the flowers she could arrange. She says that the best way to keep people interested in the store is to switch out the plants with each season. Last summer she got her hands on some really pretty bamboo and went all out with displaying it. Shame I couldn't get my hands on it before it flew off the shelves. It was so pretty. Okay. The window. The morning light shines brightly through the window, and through it I can see the building next door. The shop's not in the best location, but Miss Ramona's hoping to move it somewhere more open. She has her eye on a larger building a little bit north of here, and it's got a nice big window the plants can bask next to. With the business we've been getting, it shouldn't be long before she can snag it for herself. It's pretty bright in here as is, but yeah, big windows of course good for, well, most plants, not all of them. Okay, Miss Ramona. I walk up to Miss Ramona, who's scrolling through her phone behind the counter. What are you doing? Looking up what flowers I need to get for the shop. Mother's Day is coming up, so we're going to need a fair amount of carnations. Ah, right, those sell out so fast around this time of year. They sure do, don't they? Although the forget-me-nots a certain thieves' fans buy have continued to be our biggest hits. Does she know or does she not? Okay. I guess there's nothing else here, so back door. Am I ready to start work? Yep, I think so. Guess it's time to get started. A bit later. And now on to our next story. Late last night, the infamous thief Forget-me-not fiendishly stole yet another priceless exhibit from the Twin Bells Museum. As the newscaster recounts my escapades from the other night, a huge smirk appears on my face while I work on my next bouquet order. The infamous thief fiendishly stole yet another priceless exhibit. They always give me such high praise. Be careful not to let your ego grow too much, otherwise your pretty little head will turn into a blimp. I turn to see Miss Ramona carrying 2 cups of tea from the back office. She sets one down next to me and takes a sip from her own as she sits across the table. Haha, very funny. How in the world did you turn into such an attention seeker? Is it wrong to be proud of your accomplishments? Miss Ramona gives a little chuckle before taking a sip from her tea. Yep, you definitely take after your father more. What's that supposed to mean? Take it as you will. I set aside my current project to take a sip of tea, turning my attention back to the news report about my heist. It has been over 3 years since that thief first appeared in our city, and they have been putting on these shows of theirs many nights ever since. We're passing it off to a reporter on the field who is interviewing the officers and persons involved in this incident. Thank you. I have Sir Wilkinson, the museum curator and owner, here with me in the museum lobby. If it's not too much trouble, sir, could you answer a few questions about last night?
Of course, it's no trouble at all.
Thank you, sir. Now, this thief has been going after your family's exhibits for years now. Yet you seem to be quite chipper about it. Could you explain why?
The reason for it is quite simple. It's purely fun. I can tell from the heist that the rascally thief is doing this to entertain, and I must say that myself and many others certainly are entertained. It reminds me of years past with the Scarlet Rose. To live through this again has been one of the biggest joys of my old age. Besides, we Wilkinsons are not ones to get discouraged and give up easily. Why, my son actually has an exhibit planned very soon that he's simply elated to announce.
This is the first we've heard of this. Any hints as to what the new exhibit is about?
My apologies, but that's about all I'm allowed to say. Otherwise, poor Max will be quite upset at me for stealing his spotlight.
Of course. Thank you for your time, Sir Wilkinson.
It was my pleasure.
As the interview wraps up, I stare at the screen, deep in thought. Well, whatever will our next target be, eh? A new exhibit, huh? Already getting ideas? Maybe. Besides, it's more fun to mess with Max since he gets so worked up about it. Unlike his dad, who always looks like he's having a ball when he's at a heist. Just make sure not to overwork yourself, alright? Of course. As I take another sip, I'm reminded of what Crow told me about last night. Oh, I almost forgot. Miss Ramona, I'm gonna need Friday off this week. How come? Crow landed tickets to that ballet that's coming to the city this Friday. Said he wanted to give me a chance to relax after all these heists. Oh, is that all? Of course you can have Friday off for that. Just make sure to finish all the bouquet and telegram orders we've gotten for this week. That ballet actually brought in more than what we usually get around this time. Do you think you can manage? Of course I can. I'll make sure these bouquets are perfect. Excellent. But it's impressive Crow managed to snag a couple of tickets, even with his connections. Is it really that popular? Apparently so. Every city that ballet's toured through has had its tickets sell out almost instantly. One of their selling points is that the dancers playing the lead roles are a couple themselves, so their scenes are extra romantic. That sounds strenuous, like for the couple. Huh, didn't know that. It must be quite the show to garner that much attention. I'm even more excited to go see it now. Amid my excited bubbliness, Ramona playfully pokes me in the face as she gets up from her seat. You can think about the ballet after you're done arranging these bouquets. Yes, boss. Ramona takes her empty cup and walks to the back office, leaving me alone in the back room. I put my own cup aside as I get back to work, with the TV still playing. While the police have expressed their disdain for the thief, many citizens have told our reporters that they continue to anticipate the thief's next heist. With how the public loves Forget-Me-Not, one could say that we're living through another era like the Scarlet Roses. Hearing those words, I stare at one of the roses in the room fondly. Like the Scarlet Rose, huh? I'm still nowhere near their level, but it feels nice to hear people say I'm like them. Papa loves a Scarlet Rose. I wonder what he would say. Huh. Later that evening. After an admittedly long day, I return to the dimly lit bar, my bag on one shoulder and a box of shoe pastries from next door under my other arm. Greeting me is Andre, walking back behind the counter after cleaning the main area a bit.
Welcome back, Desiree.
Thanks. Is Crow around? I bought some shoe pastries from next door and wanted to share.
He left a couple hours ago, said it was for a new job.
Another one already, huh? Did he say where or who?
Nope, said he's keeping it on the down low this time until he's done.
That's fair. Would you like first dibs on one of these then?
Don't mind if I do, thank you.
I open the box in my arms and he gently pulls a pastry out, then grabs himself a small plate to not make a mess. I make myself a seat on one of the stools, putting the box next to me, and the two of us start chatting away. Got some downtime right now, huh?
Yep, the usuals won't start showing up for a little while. How was work, by the way?
Pretty good or pretty busy? Both, I guess. Pretty good. Pretty good. Miss Ramona and I had some extra time to chat about stuff despite all the work we had.
I should visit Ramona sometime. Been needing to get some new plants to decorate the bar with.
I'm sure she'd love to help you pick something out. Got anything specific in mind?
Not really. I'm just growing a little tired of that old cypress near the front door is all.
I think a monstera or yucca would fit well there. Miss Ramona has some in the store this month.
I'll have to go see what would work better then. Oh, by the way, Crow said he's buying dinner on the way back, so we don't need to cook anything.
Oh, okay. Any word on what specifically?
Nope. Although, knowing him, he'll want something hot.
That man sure loves his spice, huh? Yeah, no thank you. As Andre is finishing up his pastry, he looks at the clock hanging on the wall.
Do you mind helping me in the kitchen for a bit tonight? Some of my more rowdy regulars are gonna show up soon. I just want to make sure my part-timers don't get overwhelmed, you know?
Okay, so he does have other stuff, thank you. Sure thing. Let me just go take my jacket off quickly.
Take your time. It won't get messy until they've had a few drinks.
As the last few patrons leave the bar, Andre locks the front door and flips the sign from open to closed. Meanwhile, I'm cleaning the last few tables for the night, pausing to let out a little yawn.
I can take care of the rest. You go on upstairs if you're feeling tired.
Are you sure?
No worries, there's not much left. Plus, I need to count the cash and whatnot.
Alright, I'll go. I guess I'll go upstairs and wait for Crow to get back. Andre takes the bottle and cloth from me as I make my way towards the stairs, stretching a little from the work we just did. I swing open the door to the attic and grab the TV remote nearby, turning on the news as I flop onto the bed. And we've just learned that the Sunrise Glow, the jewel that Forget-Me-Not stole last night, has been returned safely to the police department. Officials are still trying to find out any info on the thief and their accomplices for a swift arrest. I roll over on the bed with a yawn as I pull out my phone, lazily scrolling through my calendar and social media feeds. Forget-Me-Not stranding again, though the ballet's in a really close second. Friday night I'll get to see what everyone's so excited about. The hype has to be for a reason, right? While I'm staring at my phone, I suddenly hear the sound of someone climbing up the stairs and turn around to see Crow walking into the attic.
I'm back.
Welcome back. He puts a plastic bag he was carrying onto the desk, then takes a page from my book as he flops onto his bed. Long day?
Yep. You too?
Yep.
Okay, are we just gonna sit in the dark?
Check what's in the bag. As I lay in bed, still scrolling through my phone, the delicious smells of what appear to be chicken and spice fill the air of the attic. That smells so good. What'd you get?
Was in the mood for curry, so I got a big portion so all three of us can eat as much as we want.
I am suspiciously upon hearing that, which prompts an exasperated sigh.
Don't worry, I bought mild. Didn't want you two to yell at me again because you're weak.
Crow, you only start to consider something as hot when it's at a 4 out of 5 on the scale.
I have a friend like that. Spice is good for you. You sweat more and drink more water.
Spice can be good for you, but there's a limit. Within reason, yeah, exactly. Okay, can we not turn on the light? Okay. Check the TV. I stare at the TV on the other side of the room, but grow disinterested and roll over onto my side.
Mind if I change the channel?
Go ahead, I'm not even watching anymore. I then hear Crow's squeaky bed as he gets up to grab the remote, changing it from the news to the game show channel. I roll over to see what's on right now. How does that guy already have so much banked?
Probably let hubris take control and try to roll as many double-ups as he could. I bet you it's gonna bite him in the ass on his next roll, though.
Just as Crow said, the guy takes another chance to make his score even higher, only to land on a big fat bankrupt space. Crow lets out a chuckle, seeing him clutching his head in disbelief. What was he expecting?
Who knows, but at least it was entertaining to watch.
I shake my head and roll onto my back, losing interest in the show as the commercial break starts up. Okay. I heard from Andre you got a new job.
Technically, yeah. My new client actually contacted me a while ago, but it was only tonight that I got all the fine print for what they want me to do. Can't tell you about it though, this one's super hush-hush.
I know, Andre told me about that.
Good, good. I'll tell you all about it once I'm done though, alright? I know you're always so curious about the jobs I get.
I mean, you wouldn't be. Hey, it's not every day you get to see a thief of justice in action.
And flattery will get you nowhere, kiddo.
How much older than us is he? Crow rolls around in his bed a little before hopping back onto his feet.
I'm gonna go take a shower and tell Andre we can start eating.
I'll just be up here until you're ready then.
Got it.
He takes off his jacket and chucks it onto his bed before walking around the corner into the hall. Meanwhile, I'll roll onto my back, feeling a little drowsy. A little nap before dinner wouldn't hurt. With a yawn, my eyes start to grow even heavier as I slowly but surely fall into an inevitable nap.
Forget-me-not.
Amid my sleeping, I find myself reliving an old memory of mine, a memory that decided the past few years of my life. I can see Crow and myself sitting up in the dark attic, illuminated by the moon and streetlights outside, as I unveil my grand idea. Yeah, what do you think?
I think it's a mouthful, is what it is.
Oh, come on, be serious. I spent a lot of time thinking up this name.
Right, because it's your thief name.
A worried expression paints Crow's face as he folds his arms and leans back in his chair. What's up?
It's just, you know. I promised your dad I'd look after you until he and your mom are back in form, and I'm still coming to terms with whether I should let you do this. What would they say if they knew of this idea of yours?
I know, but... I set aside my notepad, cradling my knees as I look back at Crow. There was something about that incident the other night that just... I don't know, made me want to feel that thrill again. I've been cooped up in this attic for a while now, and that really helped me stretch my legs a bit more.
Yeah, I getcha. But you know, becoming a phantom thief means you'll have a lot of close calls like that one. One wrong move and you'll be put behind bars, and I really don't want to see that happen. Do you think you can deal with that kind of stress?
I pause, taking time to think as hard as I can, before I look at Crow with determination. Yes, I can. It'll be a bit scary, but I know my limits and want to give this a try. Besides, the Scarlet Rose managed to retire from being a thief. I can do that too later, when the thrill dies down. Crow blinks at me for a moment, before letting out a small chuckle.
That's a weird kind of retirement to aim for, but I can't say you're wrong.
Crow pauses to think it over, then sits upright in his chair.
How's about this? I at least want you to agree that the minute it gets out of hand, you quit. Got it?
Got it.
I'm holding you to that, kid.
Crow uncrosses his arms and leans forward, his hands resting his chin, as a scheming look appears on his face.
So, Miss Upcoming Thief, you got your first target in mind?
You bet I do. Check out this article. As Crow and I start to form a plan for my first heist, I can feel this nostalgic dream fading away from me. I feel something nudging my shoulder, causing me to slowly wake up from my impromptu nap. I let out a small yawn to see Crow standing next to me.
Had a good nap, kid?
Sorry, guess I was more tired than I thought. He lets out a small chuckle before ruffling my hair.
Don't worry about it. You've had a busy week so far. Now come on, dinner's ready.
I get up from bed and do a little stretch before following Crow downstairs.
I had a feeling he was gonna get angry, but after seeing that clean sweep he had his jaw on the floor. I love it when that happens.
In the moody, empty bar, I listen to Crow and Andre exchange stories for the night. Visitors during the day, something they remembered, they always go on like this together in the evenings. While I quietly enjoy my dinner, Andre sets his plate down momentarily.
I heard some interesting gossip tonight that might interest you too as well.
I don't even manage to get my spoon out of my mouth before my interest is piqued.
What kind of gossip this time? You know how Maximilian has an exhibit of some sort planned?
That I do. He wouldn't even let his dad say anything about it.
Well, I had a theatre employee pop in for a meal today, and they spilled a tidbit that it has something to do with the ballet.
I can tell Crow's interest has been piqued, as right on cue he leans forward and folds his hands under his chin.
Really? I was wondering why the advertising for that was everywhere, but, oh, it makes sense.
You think he invited the ballet to our city to take part in an exhibit?
That I do. Not to think twin bells. Not to knock twin bells, but we're not as well known as the bigger cities.
Just a moment. I don't think we have any phantom thieves here, but another stuff happening, I guess. Okay.
It just makes sense that being invited to take part in a rich young museum co-owner's exhibit would entice them to visit.
As Crow takes another swig of his alcohol, I turn to Andre. Did that employee happen to say anything about the exhibit itself?
Unfortunately not. They said it's strictly confidential until he announces it himself.
Makes sense. Knowing him though, he's gonna try and go for the dramatic approach. And the ballet is the perfect chance to announce an exhibit in such a way.
And it's probably gonna be opening night too. There's gonna be a lot of press on Friday.
Now I'm even happier you got those tickets. Imagine what Maxie would think if he learned he'd announced his exhibit to Forget-Me-Not.
Didn't I get you those tickets so you could relax, miss before dinner nap?
I sheepishly shove another spoon of curry into my mouth in response. Meanwhile, Andre, having already finished eating, gets up and takes his plate.
Anyone want seconds, or are we leaving the rest for leftovers? I'll take some more.
Continuing from where they left off, Andre and Crow talk each other's ear off to pass time for the rest of the night. We say our goodnights to Andre as he heads back home, locking up the bar to get ready to pack it in for the evening.
I'm gonna stay up a little longer, but you're free to head to bed if you want.
As if on cue, a yawn escapes me with a giggle soon after. Guess I am kinda tired. I'll go tuck myself in then.
Alright then, good night, kiddo.
Good night. I make my way up to the attic, change into my PJs and tuck myself into bed, quickly falling asleep. Twin Bells Theatre of Performing Arts, May 10th, 7:48 p.m. Oh, so we're already here. So yeah, I didn't want to get this too long yet, so I think I'm gonna end it here and we're gonna see the ballet next time. Can I get to... I guess I cannot go to the menu here. I'm not sure if quitting the game will get me out. Anyway, yeah, that's it from me for today. That's a very interesting start so far. I love the pacing. Like, I think I didn't comment too much in between because I was just really immersed in how the story flowed and all the characters are very likable. Always a bit of a risk when too many people know your secrets, but then again, if you have some people on your side, that's also very helpful. But yeah, so very interesting start. From what I saw, you can also get the first chapter of the game as a free demo on Steam if you want. I'll have the links in the description as always if you want to go ahead and check that out for yourself. But yeah, I think I will be playing the whole game because yeah, so far very, very interesting. But yeah, that's it from me for today. As always, I'd appreciate if you'd let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.